Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Charlie. There's Coco, Coco Bean, little princess with a Kim Kardashian booty. But yeah. So, I did make videos, and I'm having a problem uploading them because I have no internet service. So this is the deal. I went to New Mexico, and it was the most beautiful state I ever been to, right? Or been through. It was amazing. The scenery, like, I'm probably gonna live there, but this is pretty much what happened. So I found out through YouTube that you could get a year pass to all state parks for $225. So that's where I was gonna live, right? And I'm probably still gonna live there. But I find this amazing location. I wish I was good at editing so I could put like pictures and stuff, but you guys see because you're straight from my Instagram. So I don't know like what I'm gonna do about making videos for my YouTube or post these like after a year onto my YouTube. But I feel like my YouTube's like really not gonna get popping if I just go through Instagram. But again, I like people that really know me to be watching these. So that's been following me. But anyway, I go to this beautiful location. I'm on top of a lake. Shit is all good. And I actually get, like, after 3 or 4 days, I got sick of it, right? And I was like, yo, there's a whole state of parks. There's 30 parks that I could do that in. So I wanted to go explore, right? So in general, I just came out here on a whim, right? I was like, fuck this shit. I got to jump in. I got to do it because people that are very close to me know that that's what I want to do. And I always talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go live on the road. And I never did it, but this dude got me so angry that it was like, yeah, motherfucker, let's do this. Now's the time, right? So I took that negative shit and made something positive out of it, and decided to go live my dream and live life and do what I want to do, man. Right? I'm getting older. I don't know who said this to me, but it's pretty funny. I was talking to somebody younger in New Hampshire, and they thought I was younger than what I was, like a lot younger. And I was like, bro, I'm 43, man. And he was like, you're 43? He was like, damn, in 7 years you're gonna be 50. And I don't know, for some reason, it's funny. I truly believe like God is constantly working in my life, right? That gave me like a reality check that I need to start living my life, obviously in a healthy way, but to start to do new things. I want to like paddleboard and shit. I never do anything, right? I'm always in the crib. I'm always here. So there's I want to go out on boats. I want to fish. I want to do, I want to hike. I want to do all these things. So I've been doing them. And so anyway, I wake up and I wake up, I look, I say, this is very beautiful, but let's keep it moving. Let's see what else there is, right? And it's exciting to me, and I post everything. So I like to make, like, you know, my Instagram followers, like, I like to blow their minds too and, like, put them on the shit. It gives me joy. This is what I love to do. So I pack oh, let's get into this. I get there and I shut off the truck, and I really have no food that I want. I might have ramen soup or like some canned food and instant mashed potatoes. Everything was like random, you know? So I shut my truck off, I set up, I get in the truck to start it, and it does not start. It's completely dead, right? So I'm thinking, when you connect your trailer to the truck, it could drain the battery because you need it for the lights, for the trailer, so the people behind you, you know, your blinkers and shit like that. And I don't know if it was a mistake, I have an electric jack that works off the battery. That goes, you know, up and down, but it's a lot of weight. So that little jack is picking up 6,000 pounds, whatever it is, you know? So it sucks the energy out of a car battery, you know? So I had to go up and down a couple times to get the ball off the hitch. So my battery was dead, right? So you got to understand that there's a campground there everything's very far, right? So it's hard for me to pay attention to my phone. That fucking Instagram's going crazy. So I have no food and I can't start my truck, and there's nobody there. I'm boondocking in a location. It's my first time doing this, you know what I'm saying? And my truck goes dead. So, you know, internally, I have like, you know, it gives you a reality check. Like, yo, you're fucking going out into all these rural locations, and you know, if I get a flat on the trailer, like, how do I change that? I start to have all these thoughts, you know? And anyway, somebody drives by. Now I have to wave these people down, try to get a jump start, and they jump and it don't start. So I get the thought that I'm like, yo, I'm going to be okay no matter what. Fuck it, what's gonna happen? There's park rangers, I'm sure people break down, like, I'll figure this shit out. So I tried to enjoy, I got there late in the day, I tried to enjoy my night and stuff, but I really couldn't, and I didn't really sleep. So I wake up in the morning, I'm kind of like picking my brain, like what to do, and workers from the state park, there was a bathroom near me, and they went there to like change the garbage and shit. So I woke up, I'm like, hey, my name's Anthony, blah, blah, blah. This is my first time ever RVing, and my truck won't start. I don't know what to do, but I'm sure you guys experienced this. And they were kind of like, no, we don't really experience this. Like, this don't happen too often. And this is a company truck, we can't jump you. So I'm like, I get it. I get the company truck shit. I get it. So I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, is there Uber or anything? He was like, Uber? Like, no, you are really far out there. There is nothing. I'm like, all right, is there a Walmart? He was like, a Walmart? He was like, yeah, about 80 miles away. Like an hour and a half away. So now I'm like, damn. what am I going to do, you know? And he goes, you know, there's an auto parts place in town. I have their number. So I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do with an auto parts place, right? I feel like defeated, right? And I go, yeah, give me the number. I'll take it. So I take the number. I come back to the trailer. I sit down. And, you know, I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do? It's also a Sunday. Now, everywhere outside of New York City, everything is, like, closed. So, even in New Hampshire and shit, everything was closed by 8, 9 o'clock. Dunkin' Donuts were closed at 6, 7. So, I already know that 4th of July, like, weekend or whatever it was just bad timing. So, I'm in the house, I'm, like, fucking doing shit, and then, like, an hour later, it hits me like, yo, just call the number. So I call the number. And, you know, a guy picks up the phone. I'm like, hey, my name is Anthony. I'm broken down. It's called the South Side of this park. And, you know, I'm like, you know, I need a jumper pack because, you know, my battery's drained. And I'm like, do you guys deliver, like, the jumper pack? And he was like, yeah, I'll bring you one. And I was like, oh, shit. But I already got jumped, and I knew that it wasn't starting. But I thought the battery was so dead that, you know, maybe if I left that jumper pack on, it would start. So the dude comes, right? And he brings the jumper pack. And my truck is not starting. I take my RV battery, I put it in my car, which is like not the same battery, to see if it would kick over. It don't. So I sit in the truck and I step on the brake and it's mad hard. And I'm like, yo, my brake is mad hard, like it's not going to the floor. So the dude goes, let me check something out. Now it's like 115 degrees, right? And, yo, I'm not going to front. 115 degrees out here is like 85 back east. It's way, yeah, I used to make fun of people that's like, it's a dry heat, different type of heat. I'm like, bro. But now, being aware, this shit is mad beautiful out here. And it's like 80, whatever. On the hottest day, it's not like where you're gonna die. Your dog will get, you know, if you had no air conditioner, like me, I'll be fine with no air conditioner. There's other things I found out too. It's funny because I designed this trailer, now I have the water inside so it wouldn't freeze, but the funny thing is, like, I don't need hot water no more because from the temperature, right, of like room temperature, whatever it is, if I have AC or not, my water is not like freezing. It's like warm. It's nice. It's comfortable. So my water now is like, I don't need nothing for it. I just need water, and it's at a good temperature. So that's pretty dope. And most of the year out here in the West, besides the summer where it's going to be 115 or 100 or whatever it is, especially in the desert, it cools down at night. So most of the year, this is going to be perfect. I came at the worst time you could come, and I love it. So, anyway, this dude, you know, I kind of knew, but he said it. He was like, this ground's really hot. And he fucking, like, crawls underneath my truck. So my shifter in my truck was, there's something that holds it underneath the truck. And whatever held it was worn out. So my truck was in third gear. That's why it wasn't starting. So he, like, fixed it. He was like, start the truck. Boom, it fired up. Like, what a godsend, man. This dude, I was like, he was so happy to help me too, because he seemed like how stressed, and I had nothing to give him. I gave him like stickers, and I tried to explain, like, but he was like, like a redneck man, like fucking just like seemed like a really good guy, and like he don't understand what fucking, you know what I'm saying, Charlie Hustler is. But so I break out with no destination, so it's like exciting, And like fuck it, I'm just gonna go anywhere I want. And you guys see I do that. I pull over on the side of the road, I cook food, and it's believe it or not, I just do what truck drivers do. That's what truck drivers do. And there's all these rest stops everywhere, and there's all these truck stops. And you could pull into any truck stop, it's free. And you could just pull your trailer in. So there's these places off the highway called Loves. Like Love with an S. And they're truck stops, like a franchise of them, whatever they are. So when you seen on my Instagram that I was out driving 11 o'clock at night, it's not because I because I was killing life and trekking the road. It's because I couldn't find nowhere to pull over. I don't like to... Coco, right? Used to hate getting in the truck. She knows what I'm talking about. Coco used to hate getting in the truck. Coco loves being on the road. I never seen Coco so happy in my life. Like, she's literally smiling 24/7 a day. Like, we got super close through this experience. Like, as you guys know, that we were already like inseparable, but like we're like communicating now. Like, she understands there's like a certain type of trust. Like, even when I walk in out and I say, come here, she comes. She knows, like, I'm in a safety. The reason why I woke up in the morning and left, that was the one. Like, I woke up, I was like, all right, this is beautiful, but I'm over it. And Coco got bit by fire ants. Like, one stung her in between her paw. And I had to get ice. And she trusted me with her paw. Not saying, like, Coco don't trust me with everything. But a dog's paw is like, that's like all they got. Like, that's, So they're very protective over that. But she understood that I was like healing her. Like, I seen that, like, it was cold and she didn't, but she was leaving it there and letting me wrap it in ice. And she was, I feel like on this trip, Coco has been like thanking me a lot. Like, when I first got her, she like laid her head on my chest the first seconds I had her in the house, and I thought, like, this is weird that she like wants to lay on me already. But that's been like the same type of behavior. Like, she's really, really thankful. So she woke up in the morning, and she got bit by a fire ant again, but it wasn't as bad. I think she was like getting immune to it, kind of. And, she was licking her paw and shit, but I was like, I'm out of here. Anyway, so I get the car and drive, and I start going. Now, I type in state parks near me. After I drove a couple hours, I didn't do it right away. I didn't want to be like, I wanted to be somewhere else. So I drove like 4 hours and then typed it in. And, a state park comes up very close, 6 miles away. It was like perfect timing. So, as soon as I type it in, when you're driving the trailer and the truck, there's a lot of different sounds from the road. Like, your tires. But the roads in every state change, and they make noise. Like, so your tires are making noises and sounds. And sometimes if they're really bumpy, like on the low, if the way they pave it and you can't see it, but your shit will be jumping. You'll be riding like this. And that's why truck driver seats bounce, But I never, like I said, it's my first time, and all these weird sounds. And I'm trying to pay attention. If you guys notice, I don't really listen to music when I drive. I enjoy the solitude, and I like to take it all in. Even when I work, I don't like listen to music. I like to be like engaged in what I'm doing. So I have 6 miles to go, and I start to hear this sounds that don't sound good, right? And I'm getting very worried. And then, like on the bottom, when my feet are on the pedal, I start to feel like a thumping, right? So I switch lanes because I'm trying to see if it's the road. It's still happening. And, I make a phone call to my boy, and I'm like, because he lives like, it wasn't close. It was 6 hours away, but that's how far I fucking am from everything. So, I know people in every state and shit like that. So I call my friend. I'm like, yo, I'm hearing the sound. Don't sound good. And the dude's been sober a long time. So he's like, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. And if something happens, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, all right, He was like, don't worry, bro. You're good. So I'm like, fuck it. I got to make it to the state park, right? So listen to this shit. I get off the highway, whatever it is, fucking interstate. You take these cutty ass roads. I don't really know any of that stuff yet. Oh, when I was telling you about the Loves and the truck stops, yeah, the rest stops just ended. Like, I was pulling over at rest stops every fucking 60 miles. And then they ended for hours. So I gotta, figure that shit out. But anyway, with the place Loves, the truck stops, I pulled in with the trailer. There was just tractor trailers, hundreds of them. And I seen a mechanic working on trucks, 11 o'clock. He had grease all over him and shit. And I'm like, yo, can I park here? And he looked at me like I was stupid. He was like, of course. I was like, oh, I have an RV. I could just pull in here? And he was like, yeah. And then I felt like a little, I couldn't believe it. That you could drive through the whole country and just sleep at truck stops, rest stops, service stops. You're allowed to. That's what they're for. So really, I could just live in my RV, just going truck stop to truck stop throughout the country, which is ill. That's always a plan B. To me, it's better than a Walmart. I felt really safe at truck stops. Truckers don't play. They're there to sleep. They're resting. They're not gonna have no fuckery. There ain't gonna be people creeping around and trying to rob you and shit. Anyway, I get off the interstate. So I'm amazed by the view. It is amazing. And I start going up this the truck. I have to fucking drag the trailer up this windy road on a cliff. On a fucking cliff with no guardrail, right? So my truck starts to get really bad. So I pull over. There was a little space where you could pull over. Eventually I seen. And that's when I get out and I show I'm high up on a cliff and you can see all these mountains and shit. And I'm like, oh, you can't really, just don't do it justice. But I'm sitting there. So I pull over, right? This white car comes. Faces me nose first, mad fast. Two kids, probably 20 years old, 22, something like that. They face me nose first, right? They just ran right up on me. They jump out, and one of them run to my window, and yo, I knew this was they were running up on me. And he was like, yo, what's up? You need some help? And Coco was going ham. She how I don't know if you guys really know, Coco is not a friendly dog. She's vicious. So, Coco was like barking in his face, and fucking from the way I look, I have tattoos on my eyebrows and shit, that when he ran up on me, he came aggressively. But as usual, when he got to my face and seen the wear and tear and the dog, he didn't know what to do. You could see that his plan changed. So he runs up, he's like, yo, what's up? You need help? And I was like, nah, I hear a noise on my tire, man. I'm just checking something out. And he was like, okay, a noise on your tire. And he gets back in the car, right? And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, I seen the other kid standing there, and the kid had all sweat in his back. They had like no air conditioner, you could tell, and they was on some shit. They was trying to rob people, right? So I sit there, now my truck is in bad shape. I'm like, yo, I gotta make it to the state park. So those kids pulled away. So I start driving, and they're on the side of the road. I pass, they make a U-turn and start following me. And my truck is like dying. This shit like only happens to me, man. So, I'm just trying to keep my cool. I'm thinking, I'm like, I feel bad. I don't even like to say this shit, but I'll kill you. Straight up. I will get a knife and I will stab you 1,000 times. So that's the mode I go in. I'm like, I'm going to have to kill these kids. I'm going to lose Coco. I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life. Whatever. That has to be done, right? So, I'm driving, and now right before you turn into the state park, there's a little, like, you could pull off before you enter the gate. So I pulled off. So now these kids, they're not, what they did was they went really slow. They started creeping by me, going mad slow. They entered the gate and went mad slow. So I call my boy. I'm telling him that, like, yo, I'm getting followed. And he goes, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in Gallup. He's like, you're in Gallup? I'm like, yeah. He was like, bro, you need to get out of there. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's so beautiful. I'm like, what do you